Do the Dallas Cowboys have a two-headed monster at tight end? Mike Fisher reporting from Frisco, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Just got a chance, obviously, to watch OTAs, and Dalton Schultz was the guy there. Got a chance to watch OTAs and watch Blake Jarwin work on the sideline there. If you remember going into last season, the Cowboys believed that they might get a breakout year from a tight end to begin the post-Jason Witten era. They were right. They just got it from the other tight end. Schultz was supposed to be the backup to Blake Jarwin in 2020, as you'll recall. But the latter player sustained that week one season-ending ACL tear. Nasty thing. Forcing Schultz into action, and it worked for Dalton Schultz in his third NFL season, and largely without the injured Dak Prescott at quarterback, Schultz produced like never before. 4 touchdowns, 63 catches, 615 yards. Brad Sham, the voice of the Cowboys, in a press conference meeting with us and Dalton Schultz after the Tuesday practice, said, do you think that convinced coaches to see you in a different way? And Dalton Schultz pretended like he didn't know what Brad was talking about. But the fact is that before last year, Dalton Schultz had yet to establish anything. Now, part of that was because Jason Witten was here, of course. But the idea was that Dalton Schultz, when they drafted him, that's a born Y inline blocker. And he can catch too. And it never quite happened until the opportunity was handed to him by fate, and then it did happen in 2020. Now the question is, can it happen again, and can it happen for both tight ends? So here we go to 2021. Both players figure to be available. Schultz right now working with the first team at OTAs, Jarwin continuing to rehab the knee. So what's the plan? Here's the quote from Schultz on Jarwin. Dude, I can't wait to see him finally go out and prove to everybody that he's as great a tight end as he thinks he is. And he means that as a compliment. I'm excited to have that two-headed monster in the room, and hopefully we can take advantages of defense this year. Blake Jarwin pitches in. I want to get out there, and it's been a long time since I've been able to run full speed and catch a ball, but you've got to understand, you got to trust the plan, you got to trust the process. You also have to trust that Kellen Moore is going to figure out a way to use the best 11. Does the best 11 include 2 tight ends at the same time? Jarwin said he'll just keep pushing along. He anticipates that day 1 of training camp he'll be ready to roll, and then to more pushing. Jarwin saying, yeah, I think we're going to walk up to Kellen Moore and just kind of hint that we need to do more 12 personnel around here, more 2 tight end sets around here. I don't know that that's really the answer. More likely, it seems to me, is that Dallas's offense, loaded with skill position guys, Dak Prescott obviously at quarterback, Ezekiel Elliott at running back, Tony Pollard behind him, and then most of all, the receiving trio of Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. You know, when we talk about, hey, we need more Pollard alongside Zeke, somebody's got to come out. Hey, we need 2 tight ends so we can feature Dalton Schultz more. If you feature Dalton Schultz more, with all due respect to him, then maybe you're disrespecting what CeeDee Lamb can do on the field, or Michael Gallup, or Amari Cooper. So those are the guys that are going to be featured in the passing game, but that doesn't change the effort on the part of Schultz and Jarwin, nor does it change, obviously, anybody's individual goals. Schultz said, back at Stanford, we had a saying called the law of the price tag. You got to make deposits on it day to day. The price never goes down, the price only goes up, and it has to be paid in full at all times. This is about work ethic. He said, I'm continuing to do that. You got to be better than you were the day before, and you got to put in more than you did the day before. What a great approach. And that's certainly, along with fate, one of the reasons that Dalton Schultz was able to escalate his game last year. Now, again, it's likely that Jarwin's going to be the starter, with Schultz behind him. But in a very real sense, as we've learned, these 2 pals also back each other. Schultz, I'm so excited for Blake. I love working alongside a guy that I can really trust. Considering the circumstances, we have a great friendship. And then Schultz took us back to December 30th, 2018. The breakout game for Blake Jarwin. And he said he got his first touchdown against the Giants, and I'm like, yeah, let's go get another one. Then he scored a second one, and I'm like, go get a hat trick. And then he got it. 3 touchdown catches in one game for Jarwin. And Schultz was as happy to talk about that as he was to talk about himself. Quote from Schultz, we're boosting each other up, whether it's competing on the Peloton bike in the offseason or scoring 3 touchdowns against the Giants. The Cowboys probably don't have a two-headed monster in terms of 2 tight ends dominating play at the same time. But in terms of depth and weaponry, yes, in Jarwin and Schultz, the Cowboys can indeed have a two-headed monster. In Frisco, Fish, out.